Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is going to go ahead and model a pen to place on our disk. It's a small, simple item, but it's just one of those miscellaneous things that adds detail to the scene. So let's go ahead and hit Alt-6 to open up our image clip viewer here. And I'm going to import a clip. And I'm going to grab the pen. Right, here we go. Alright, so it's a pretty simple pen that we're going to model here. We're going to be able to create this out of a simple cylinder. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to maximize this viewport right here. And I'm going to grab a primitive. I'm going to go to Polygon Mesh and grab myself a cylinder. Alright. What I want to do is probably just knock the base subdivisions to 1 as well as the V subdivisions to 1. The U subdivisions 8 is too small of a number. Let me just rotate this 90 degrees on its side. I'm going to switch to hidden line removal. And I'm going to hide the grid by hitting G on the keyboard. Let's up those subdivisions to about 24 is going to give us a nice smooth pen. So that'll work. So I can close this PP. Actually, let me go ahead and rename it to pen, of course. Let's open our PPG here. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is knock the radius of this thing down a little bit. So let's actually go ahead and uniformly scale it down a bit. I'm going to hit T on the keyboard to tag points. I'm going to grab all the points here in the end. And I'm going to pull them this way. I'm going to grab these and maybe pull them about here. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here, hit Y on the keyboard to select all of these polygons right there on the end. And let me actually put this to half zoom. Makes it a little bit easier to see. Okay, I'm going to hit Control D. Extrude those out to about here, I think is good. I'll take it to about there. I'm going to hit Y on the keyboard. Switch to polygon mode. Select those polygons right there on the end. Control D to extrude. And I'm going to pull these out to about here. Now I'm just going to scale that down to about this point right here is good. Okay. Now to make this a little bit more realistic, it's kind of hard to see here, but if I zoom in here, it's difficult to see here, but on a real pen there's actually a groove there because it's two separate pieces. So let's go ahead and imitate how that works in real life in 3D. I'm actually going to hit Control D to extrude this again, and I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. And now I'm going to hit Control D to extrude. I'm going to pull this out not too far, just a bit. I'm going to scale it down to something like this is good. Okay. And that's the little pen tip right there. Let me scale it down just a little bit more. Hit Control D to extrude it again. I'm going to scale that down a bit. Then I'm going to hit Control D to extrude again. I'm going to push that in. And I'll just pretend that the pen tip is actually inside. Although if you want to model the pen tip itself, you can do that. All you have to do is hit Control D to extrude again, scale it down just a little bit. Control D to extrude again. Pull it out. Scale it down just a bit. Extrude it again. Scale it down. Extrude again. Scale this one down real thin. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is select that center vertex right there, pull it out just a little bit like that, and I'm going to go ahead, right click, and bevel that. Just bevel it a little bit, something like that works pretty good. Gives it that nice rounder shape. Okay, that works. That works just fine. Alright, let's work on the back here a little bit more. Select those back polygons right there. Once we select those, we're actually going to model that back part there. So let's go ahead and go back to normal zoom. I'm going to model this part right up there. Push that over to the side. Get our some more real estate space over here. I'm going to extrude that and scale it in a little bit. I'm going to extrude again. I'm going to pull it out to about here. I'm going to extrude one more time, and this one I'm going to go ahead and scale down. Alright, not too much though, not too much, just a bit. Okay, now I'm going to make this sort of this black cap piece right there, and I want it to appear to be a separate piece. So to do that, I'm going to Control D to extrude this again. I'm going to pull this down just a bit. I'm going to hit Control D again and pull that out to about here. Looks good. Now I'm going to make more of a circular or roundish piece right up here. So what I'm going to do is hit Control D to extrude again. Pull it down. Pull this way out like that. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so the next thing to do would be to continue modeling this. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to model out this this sort of piece right here, which is the, I don't know what that's called actually, the clip, I guess you could say. So let's actually go ahead and model that out. So that's actually going to be pretty easy to do. I'm going to go to edge mode and select that edge, Alt and middle click that one to select that entire ring of edges right there that goes all the way around the pen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and split edges with split control. And I'm going to put it to about, let me see where I want this to be. I'm going to put this to about here. That'll work. Close that. Okay. Now I'm going to go to polygon mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select 2 of those polygons right there. And let me see if 2 is going to be enough. I might have to pick 3. You know what? I'm going to pick 3 instead. So I'm going to add one more polygon to that selection. I'm just going to have 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now with those polygons selected, I'm going to Control D to extrude. I'm going to pull this out this way, something like that. I'm going to extrude one more time, pull it out again, to about here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is pretty simple. Just going to pick these polygons that are right in there. Control D. I'm going to pull this way. And let me see. I'm going to put it about here. I'm going to extrude from here, go here. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this down a little bit, something like that, so it starts to taper in, so to speak. I'm going to extrude again. And this extrude, I'm going to go ahead and taper that in some more. Now I'm going to extrude again. And it's going to taper in a little bit less. Okay. I'm going to extrude one more time. Bring it to about here. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is pretty simple actually. I'm going to pick all of these inside polygons. These that are right in here. Okay. I'm going to extrude those and pull them out this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale, but I don't want to scale like that. Or actually maybe I do. No, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is scale globally here. Pick COG. Move this out to about here, and I'm actually going to rotate it a bit. Bring it down just a little tiny bit. Right there. And I can see that this needed to come out more actually. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select these polygons. And I'm going to grow the selection several times. Grow again, grow again. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these polygons. I'm going to pull that out a bit so there's more room in there. This way I got some more room to work with back here. I'm going to scale this in to give it more of a rounded type of shape to it. Okay. What I'm going to do is select this edge here, that edge, as well as that edge. We go to wireframe mode, you can really see it there. Just going to pull that in. I'm going to take that edge, I'm going to go to the tweak tool mode, and what I'm going to do is activate the sliding. Now what I could do is I could slide it right into position. I'm going to take sliding off, back to edge mode, pull this out a little bit, select all those edges. By selecting one and holding on Alt and left clicking this one over here, it selects all the edges in between. Tries to find the closest edges in between. Does a pretty good job of it. Okay. So something like that will work. That'll suffice. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and move this in a little bit so it's closer to the actual pen's body. Just adds that little bit more of a touch because realistically this would be pretty much right there, practically touching. Select those and move them just a little bit. Okay. Now we did that, we need to detail this pen a bit. So this is the way I'm going to detail it. I'm going to select that edge. I'm going to loop select all those edges right there. Now this part's real simple. I'm just going to right click, go to Bevel. I'm going to extend that out and add some subdivisions to it. About 4. We'll get the job done. Just to give it a nice rounder end right there. I'm going to select this one, ring select all of these. Now what I'm going to do is hit Shift D to go ahead and subdivide that one time. I'm going to pick this one and middle click to select an entire loop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually scale it up, believe it or not. There's a good reason why I'm doing that. Because now I can bevel this, extend the size of the bevel there, and add some rounding to it. About 4 subdivisions should do it. Let's actually increase the size of the bevel to about 4. Now we get a nice bevel right there. Down here I'm going to select this edge right there. Right click, going to bevel. Extend the size of that. 4 will do it. Let's actually extend the size of the bevel a bit more. So I think actually 4 looks really good. Let's go ahead and do a render region of that using the Q button. Okay. So it looks nice and smooth, which is fantastic. That's exactly what I want. I want to also bevel this, so I'm going to select this edge, or that loop of edges right there. Right click. I'm going to bevel again. Increase that distance to about 4. Let me try 5. Let me try 6. Okay, let me add some rounding to that. So about 4 will do it. There we go. Now we got ourselves a nice round area right there, which is great. And as far as the back of it goes, I'm going to add a very small slight bevel right here. So let's go ahead and bevel that. 2 should do it. Bevel of 1 is good. Okay. Last but not least, I'll bevel this area right here. Let's try 1. 2 I think will do it. We'll add 1 rounding to it. So that should look really good. Excellent. Okay. As far as this part goes over here, we're going to go ahead and have to fix some of this. So let me actually go ahead and I'm going to select all of these polygons right here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to select adjacent edges. So we can pick all of those. Right click. Let's bevel that. Actually does not look too good. Here's what I'm going to do. This whole thing selected. Let's go over here. Let's grab the bevel up and delete it in order to restore this back to how it was before. Pick those edges right there and we're going to go ahead and bevel those by themselves. I'm going to select those right there and I'm going to hit the period key to bevel that again. I think 2 will do it. And right in here I'm going to pick those. Period key to bevel again. Go ahead and bevel that. There we go. Okay, so now it's nice and rounded in that spot, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, not bad. I can stay as is. Alright, we're actually done modeling the pen. Pen's complete. Okay, so finally let's take the pen, let's freeze modeling here to freeze that modeling stack. Let's close that image clip viewer. Last but not least, what we need to do is export this as an asset. So I'm going to select the pen, I'm going to go up to File, I'm going to go down to Export, and now you have several different options you can export as. The most common options are probably OBJ, .xsi is pretty common, working only in XSI. And model. When you're working in mixed pipelines, OBJ as well as point oven and even DirectX export can work pretty good. In this case, since we're sticking with XSI, What I'm going to do instead is going to go ahead and I'm going to use the, let me see, I'm going to use .xsi. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and leave all these options as is. The latest version of .xsi is what I'm going to use. I'm going to leave all my default settings just perfectly fine. And polygon type, polygons is what we're going to use. You don't want triangles, triangle strips. We're going to stick with polygons, so it keeps everything exactly as is. And what I'm going to do is just go down here. We've got some more. We can animate, we can plot animation, things like that. Well, we don't have to worry about any of these settings, so let's go ahead and hit OK. And now it's going to automatically save to our .xsi folder inside of our project directory, which is perfect. And since we named the object pen, pen is the default name. We're going to hit OK. And there we go, it's saved out. So that's perfect. We're already done with this, and good work.